You're looking at Falls Fountain in the middle of the Ohio River. That bridge separates the Hoosier State and the Bluegrass State. Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, home of fast women and pretty horses. Big crowd on hand for Pro Beach Volleyball. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. I'm Chris Marlowe. Huge story this weekend in Pro Beach. Maybe the biggest story of the year, the absence of Randy Stoklos. Yes, Stoko not here this week, and it's created quite a buzz. Now, Paul Sunderland, I have to tell you, at the start of the year, I predicted that Smith and Stoklos would not play in every tournament together, and they won't, and I was right.
Well, hoop-de-doo, and congratulations. But it did indeed create a very unique look out on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. St. John Smith, without Randy Stoklos, he had to go out and hustle up a substitute, and that man's name was Todd Schaefer. Todd Schaefer is the 71st ranked player out on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Also comes from Santa Monica in the Pacific Palisades area. Obviously plays on the left side. He was up skiing, doing some ski racing up in the California mountains. St. John got him on his cellular phone and said, hey, I'll send you a ticket, get down to Louisville, Kentucky. Smith doesn't want to miss a tournament, has never missed one since he came out on the Pro Beach Tour.
All right, that's the big question, though. Where is Stokey?
Well, if you want to know, you got to go right to St. John Smith. He's played with Randy Stoklos straight through since 1985. Where is he, St. John? What happened to the big guy?
I don't know. I guess Randy, his shoulder was bothering him early. Well, it's been bothering him for months now, and something happened last weekend. He thought he'd be able to play this weekend, and I really didn't find out till I was halfway across the country in an airport, and I got paged, and it was my wife saying, Randy can't play. So that was the first I had heard about it, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just lucky to find anybody. Todd was doing some water ski racing up in, I think it's Big Bear, and he was able to make an overnight flight, got here 7:30 this morning, and we're doing it.
Well, and how did the new team on the beach, Schaefer and Smith, do? They finished ninth, pretty good finish, and give St. John Smith some credit. He really worked hard to get a partner and come out here and compete. He knows thousands of fans come out to see him because of the reputation he's built through the years, so congratulations to St. John for hanging in there.
And give Smith's beautiful wife, Patty Robinson, a brokerage fee.
Deserves a big commission.
All right, let's update you on the tourney so far. A couple of teams, outside teams that are doing very well this week.
Well, Roger Clark and Scott Friedrichs, I thought, had an excellent tournament. They lost in the quarterfinals, but came back to finish a very strong fifth. And then a new team, Brooke Vanderway and Dan Verbalovich. You remember that Vanderway had been playing with John Hanley. This new team, Vanderway and Verbalovich, the double Vs, got together and finished fifth. Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd, who'd been on a little bit of a mini run since Hovland returned to the tour from that foot injury, with a third and a second and a fourth here in Louisville, Kentucky. A good finish for them. And undoubtedly the Tidy Bowl team of the week, a huge disappointment. Pat Powers and Brian Lewis. It seems like Clearwater, Florida, their big victory at the Cuervo is months and months and a lifetime ago. They're not a team that's very happy with themselves.
Miller Lite Grand Prix, $500,000 in total prize money. Kent Steff is going to win it unless he breaks his leg. He is going to win 75 grand of it.
He might win it unless he breaks both legs, but Steff is way out in the lead. Karai, his partner, in second position. St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos will obviously move down because he was not able to compete this week because of an injury. Mike Whitmarsh, Brian Lewis, Brent Frohoff, that's the top group of 8. Pat Powers, he will move down. Mike Dodd on a good run, playing well with Tim Hovland back on tour. Mir Wirtz, solid in 12th and 13th. Brooke Vanderway, we'll see how he teams up now with Verbalovich, John Hanley, and Ricky Luyties. Those are the top 16 players on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Miller Lite Grand Prix playing out lots of money come the end of the season.
Our first venture ever here to Louisville, Kentucky. Karchkrai and Kent Steff is going for 7 in a row. We'll see them a little later. What's up next? Wait a moment. We'll tell you. Men's Pro Beach Volleyball is in sold-out Louisville, Kentucky. The Miller Lite Louisville Open, the first site for this town. The first time Pro Beach has been here, and they're going to see a great semifinal. Adam Johnson and Ricky Luyties, Brent Frohoff, and Mike Whitmarsh. I'm Chris Marlowe, my partner, as always, Paul Sunderland, and the players getting together for some last-minute instructions as we set to go. Our winners bracket final winner, Karchkrai and Kent Steff, they'll play the winner of this one, and Rick Olmstead, who it appears will be our first referee, going over the last few amenities with Brent Frohoff. So take a look at the prize money for this particular tournament, $75,000, 15 grand to the winning team. They split it, of course. There's 2, 9, 71, 56, and 45. Money all the way down to 17th place. So a great distribution by the AVP. More money for more players this year. Rick Olmsted, who was once a AAA player and once formerly the coach of Karch Karai at Santa Barbara High School. And Sid Church going to be the umpire. So Adam Johnson set to put the ball in play. He's wearing the little foot digs and the sparkly trunks, blonde hair and visor. And we go to Mike Whitmarsh right off the bat. Whitmarsh is blocked. So Whitmarsh blocked by Ricky Luyties. That is going to be quite a confrontation, Paul.
Well,
those two at the net.
Well, no doubt about it. If Ricky Luyties blocks the way he is capable, and for the first time all summer since he's come back from the wrist injury, Ricky Luyties has been blocking well. Adam Johnson, his young partner, played so well the beginning of the season with Kent Steffes out of USC. 6'3", top defensive player right now.
Another dig. Johnson has it. Will he whap it? Oh, big stuff. Whitmarsh getting way over the net.
Setting mistake by Ricky Luyties. And I had a long talk with Ricky Luyties at Adam Johnson last week in Cape Cod, and that was a very depressed team. Brent Frohoff, part of the opposition today at 6'3", 185. Getting older now, 29 years of age. Had a pretty solid summer. But Adam Johnson and Ricky Luyties very depressed last week after their poor performance. We're really going to concentrate on point scoring. They have a chance this week to get into the finals, and that may well salvage their partnership for the rest of the season. Lots of talk about them possibly going their separate ways.
So the big man, Ricky Ludy, 6'5", 210. He's 30 years old. 5 career wins, all of them last year. Good play by Johnson, has to touch it. Whitmarsh, little tip shot. So Mike Whitmarsh will have the ball. Whitmarsh, 6'7", out of the University of San Diego, a fine basketball player. He's 30 years old. He's only been playing 2 years, and he got his first win. You might remember it at New Orleans. What a win that was over Karch and Kent. Or Karch and Kent would have 8 wins in a row. They're serving Luyties in the white tank. And he blasts it off Whitmarsh out of bounds.
Frohoff and Whitmarsh have had a solid tournament. They were leading Karai and Steffes in the semifinals 7-2, and then Karai and Steffes went on a big run to take over that match. Ricky Luyties here showing you the ability to go up over the top of 6'7", high-jumping, long-armed Mike Whitmarsh, and that's something I think Luyties needs to do. Use that ability to go right up off and challenge the block. That's a tight set.
Whitmarsh going right over the top. So Mike Whitmarsh with a little tap shot over the top. And Brent Frohoff has the ball. He's 8th in the Miller Lite Grand Prix at the moment. Frohoff having a terrific year. Not as good as the years he had when he was playing with Karch Karai, but he still won plenty of money. Let's check Frohoff for you.
Frohoff now with just about $41,000, and we're a little over halfway through this season. So a respectable sum of money, but clearly down from his biggest years. Last year he earned over $100,000, and the year before that was a big season with Karch Karai. Ricky Luyties got to set the ball extremely well, getting served most of the time. So Adam Johnson, very fresh-legged out here in our semifinal.
Whitmarsh getting most of the serves and taps it down the line. One reason Whitmarsh gets most of the serves, he's got some shaky physical conditioning. Looks like a Greek god. If you look at Whitmarsh, strong, tall. But last week he went to the hospital in the ambulance. He cramped up. He said arms, legs, abs, butt, the whole works went for Whitmarsh, and he's done that a couple of times. And so you have to keep a very close look on the fast improving Whitmarsh, but everybody knows he's got conditioning problems. Ludy stumps one through.
I would disagree with you a little bit. I've been talking to Mike quite a bit the last year and a half. I think he's training hard. I just don't think that he's developed to the point where he's able to deal with the elements. And
that's training problems.
Well, that's a physical problem, not necessarily a training problem. I just don't think he's taken enough fluids during the tournament, during the week, but
he's eating like a horse, drinking like a fish, and still he's getting cramps. Here he is, and he snaps it through.
Well, you got to find the formula. If you're going to win out on the Pro Beach Tour on a regular basis, this is the point in time when you need to be getting your second win, not the time when you're starting to just reach for the survival ring.
Mike Whitmarsh never even touched a volleyball till he was in his 20s, and you can see he's selected by Portland, last man cut by the Minnesota Timberwolves back in '89. And here it comes to him, and he shoots it over the top.
Look at that. Terrible unforced error by Adam Johnson. You don't see Johnson's ball control let him down very often, but that was flagrant. Just a bonehead bump set over the net.
1-0 our score for Frohoff, who has one of the best jump serves on the tour. Let's correct that score for you now. 1-1. We've got a malfunctioning scoreboard out here, and we'll have to keep a little closer eye on that. Johnson, dig by Frohoff. Oh, and Luyties taps it over the top. Ball right on top, and Luyties gets a kill.
As long as any part of the ball is on your side of the net, you're able to go up and swipe, whap, or do exactly what Ricky Luyties did. Brent Frohoff playing some pretty good defense early now. Is any of this ball on the side? Yeah, it's right on top of the net. Right on top of the net. That's a good no call.
So Ricky Luyties lobbing deep to Whitmarsh.
Lobbing him deep, making Whitmarsh run the full 30 feet length before he shoots it every time he touches the ball. Beautiful weather here in Kentucky. We were expecting a lot higher humidity. It's relatively dry for this location this time of year, but it's warm. It's in the mid-80s right now and has been since yesterday.
So Whitmarsh with the serve. 1-1. Oh, he missed it. And so the side out will go to Luyties and Johnson. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to Louisville, Kentucky after this. And a local ambulance last week, not that particular ambulance, but an ambulance took Mike Whitmarsh to the hospital. And what has that done, Paul?
Well, all was standing very nearby, particularly on hot days. And what I heard in the players' tent is when the ambulance was leaving the beach, they said, well, there goes the Whitmobile. You know, the popularity of the Batmobile. But
and of course, the reference, not so slyly, to Mike Whitmarsh, who was cramped and been taken to the hospital in that kind of a mode of transportation many, many times. How many times would you say, Paul? I don't have the exact
Well, I'm not
figure.
sure how many times he's left the beach.
Yeah.
I remember him last year getting IVs, intravenous solution directly into the vein for loss of fluid in Chicago, and probably a couple of other times at least. But you know, he's a big, strong guy, and these weather conditions are very difficult for he personally to fight through. But he's here.
And of course, the AVP wants to be very, very careful as Whit taps one into the net. They certainly don't want any of their players dying or collapsing because of heat prostration or heat exhaustion, which you can get so easily playing beach volleyball. How hot would you say it is right now, Paul?
Well, it's probably in the mid-80s, but on the court, inside this stadium configuration, I would say it's at least hotter. 10 degrees hotter. The reflection off the sand, maybe another 5. So you're talking upwards of 100 degrees out there.
Oh, nice play by Johnson. We're tied at 3-3, trying to go to 4 with Pokey.
Point-scoring opportunities have been one of the key areas of frustration for Adam Johnson and Ricky Luyties. There, a chance to convert and another setting error. Now, this is not an easy chance, but this is a play that you have to make if you want to be a top team. You've got to set that ball on your side of the court, give your partner a chance to take a good swing. You can't set the ball over the net.
So Brent Frohoff and his partner Mike Whitmarsh. Another added factor, of course, is the wind. No wind today, and the players would like to have some, wouldn't they? Especially the jump servers, big ones. Johnson, oh, Frohoff with the dig, but it's out of reach.
Frohoff was right there, just did not get low enough. He's in a perfect spot, but he just didn't dig what we call through the ball. He stayed on his feet. You got to just lunge and collapse right through the ball. Got to dig the ball straight up in the air.
Here comes Luyties. We're tied at 3.
Back on Whit every time.
Whit snaps it down the line. So big Whit. He's not the tallest player on the tour, but he's right up there. I believe Mike Mataraki is the tallest, the former San Diego State star. Now it's coming off the wind a little. It is coming off the
yeah, but that's on top of the stage of the stadium configuration we have, but down on the court, much of that wind is blocked by the stadium, so the player's probably not getting too much relief temperature-wise yet from the breeze, but it's kicking up a little bit. You take anything you can get.
Adam Johnson going to get the ball. Paul, you talked a little about his frustration. He wants to win. He won 2 early tournaments with Kent Steffes. It's a little-known fact. Last win, April 5th. Of course, that's this year with Steffes. And out of Ludy's reach. So Whitmarsh doing a bongo hard down the line. And Fro and Witt will have it. 3-3, 6 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in the game. See if Frohoff can get a little mustard on his serve from the perceived bad side. No, he's going to float up tight.
Pretty good serve, driving Luyties deep.
Well, it looks like they're passing and setting very, very nicely right now.
Well, there's very little breeze. You want to work on Ricky Luyties in the wind. Adam Johnson, an automatic, a great passer. But in these conditions, I really think that Fro and Witt are just trying to wear Ricky Luyties down. You notice Adam Johnson has blocked a couple of times early in this game, and that's not something you'd see under normal circumstances.
So they're going to try it again on Frohoff. Fake block off Johnson. Nice play by Frohoff.
This really could be a war of attrition between, personally, Mike Whitmarsh and Ricky Luyties. We should keep a close watch on both of them.
I take Luyties. If it gets down to that, I take Luyties.
Mike Whitmarsh serving.
I think Ludy's a little better shape. Although, as you said, Paul, Whitmarsh trains hard, but he has not played the years on the beach, maybe to give him that hot heat conditioning.
And it does. It's exactly that. It's almost like a sixth sense that you develop, being able to tolerate the heat. And Mike Whitmarsh has only been out here for a couple of years, and it takes longer than that.
Paul, you're talking about the frustration once again, getting back to Adam Johnson, of who he might play with if he didn't play with Ricky Luyties. He has talked to Randy Stoklos about it. Stoklos had said no at the moment. Do you think Smith and Stoklos will be together next week?
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
I said that they'll play together at Manhattan. I mean,
Okay.
that's more of a gut feeling. I saw St. John for about 2 seconds this morning as he was heading to the airport, and have not spoken with Randy, obviously, since last Friday when I talked to him about his shoulder and not coming to Louisville. But I do think that, and I've said it many times, that they will play together at least through this year. Next year's a different story.
Frohoff goes out of bounds. Of course, we're talking about the fact that Randy Stoklos did not show up for the tournament this week. He called St. John's wife, and she relayed the call on Friday. So St. John Smith had to call his wife. And so his wife called Todd Schaefer up in Lake Arrowhead as Schaefer was making his way down to go water skiing. His little portable phone rang. Beep, 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 beep. He picked it up. There's Patty Robinson saying, hey, you better come get me. We need a partner. Johnson, 3-3. Got it. Oh. Boy, I put that away a little too soon. It almost pinballed off Frohoff back up.
4-3 now, score.
Frohoff blocking this time for Mike Whitmarsh. And Todd Schaefer, an up-and-coming actor and model. I'll bet when he heard that beep, 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 he thought he got the part in that new movie his agent was calling him. But not to be. A chance to play with St. John Smith. Something he'd never done before. Not in a tournament, anyway.
Final little point on that. Schaefer said 10 more seconds. I would have been out on the boat and water skiing, and St. John wouldn't have had a partner. And when Schaefer got here and got every serve for 2 days, he wished he hadn't come. Our congratulations to them, however, finishing 9th.
That's a good finish.
Yeah.
That's a good finish. It's a tough tournament. All the teams here.
4-3. Johnson and Luyties over Frohoff and Whitmarsh. Right there is Fro. Looking for the point. Yeah!
Well, you got to wonder. Ricky Ludy just not tuning in to Adam Johnson's call. Frohoff camped in the angle. This is not a tough point-scoring opportunity. After the dig, Frohoff hammering right back at Ricky Luyties. But you got to just some miscommunication offensively between Adam Johnson and Ricky Luyties.
And Johnson snaps one through. Of course, talking about a possible teaming of Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos, who would play the right side. Well, obviously, I think Adam Johnson would.
Yes.
And then St. John Smith would be left to maybe Pat Powers if they happen to split up. Or
I think
Tim
that's what would
Hovland.
happen. Adam Johnson.
So A.J. dials one up, and now his team leads 5-4. As Witt got a little sandy going to the left. So Adam Johnson, truly one of the superstars on the beach. I had heard that Pat Powers had asked him to play again, but Johnson is still pissed off about last year when Powers dropped him. So he said, no, I'm not playing with Powers. I'm not going to play with him.
Powers dumped him. They played together in Santa Barbara and several other tournaments at the beginning of last year. Adam Johnson got his first victory. One of four he had with Pat. One of four he had all last year. 3 with his current partner. Once again, down the line, tough from Adam Johnson.
Witt skies one. Oh, Johnson has it up. Ludy's chugging. He's got it. Great play. And Witt backpedaling.
Tight set.
Trouble.
Tight set.
AJ has it. What a fabulous rally and a play. Johnson, yes!
Great hustle by Ludy. Ludy's is carrying about 3 pounds of that Indiana sand in his pocket right now.
Hoosier sand, 6-4 when we come back.
Great play and stretch by Adam Johnson, but look at the run by Ricky Luyties. That's about 30, 40 feet. He's dusting himself off now, the Hoosier sand deep in his pockets. And then the bad set, that's the mistake by Brent Frohoff. So tight that Whitmarsh could not get a good swing at the ball, and point scoring opportunity and conversion by Johnson and Luyties. That's something that they must key on. And how have they done so far this year? Clearly a disgruntled team, starting with last week in Cape Cod, a 9th. Chicago not bad, 3rd. At the Cuervo, an 8th. Awful there, that's last place. San Diego a 4th. Fort Worth 7th, 5th, 7th, and 5th. Those are poor finishes so far for Luyties and Johnson compared to what they did last year and what was expected of them by everybody this year.
Whitmarsh, and AJ has it again. Looking to tomahawk another one. And he does. Of course, Johnson and Luyties, most of their success coming in the second half of the summer. A couple of their big wins coming on NBC, that Milwaukee tournament, their first win together, and of course the U.S. Championship. 7-4, a lead of 3 as AJ, kind of a unique spin on his ball. Watch his ball, he kind of twirls it. Watch it.
Hey, remembering back to when Luyties and Johnson played well, 2 things stick in your mind. Make it 3. Adam Johnson jump serving, Ricky Luyties blocking, and then AJ scrambling, playing good defense. When the other team made an offensive mistake, they converted each and every time. And they've had glimpses of those elements individually, but have really not put all 3 of them together in a tournament yet this year. That's got to be called.
Double contact that time by Ricky Ludy. So the 2 points that AJ and Luyties have given up, 2 out of the 5 have been on double contacts. That's either right to left or left to right hand transfer. We said it a number of times. It has really nothing to do with the spin, although officials say, hey, there's a spinner, got to call it. In fact, it was said that a number of old-timers used to put spin on the ball because it was a truer set. You'd set the ball up, it was truer.
Right, it would take a straighter trajectory.
Yeah.
Well, the best players usually set the standard. I mean, for the years when Randy Stokos was setting every ball with his hands, it came out knuckleball each and every time, so the rules gravitated towards the best players.
Whitmarsh, did he touch it? No. So Whitmarsh hitting error, 8-5, Luyties and Johnson. Karchgarai Kent Steffes will play the winner of this one, trying for their 7th in a row. Still working on Whit. AJ.
Not a very good set in transition by Adam Johnson.
And Frohoff just frothing to get one. Ludy's digging it up. Throw against Luyties. Not yet. How about Whit against Luyties? Yet.
Bad decision to fake block that time by Ricky Luyties. Ball set very tight to the net, and a tired Mike Whitmarsh after that long rally, really giving him a free look at the net. There's a perfect example of Adam Johnson and Ricky Luyties not putting it together. Whitmarsh now, you can see the strategy continuing to emerge. Whitmarsh received 19 serves. His partner down still in the single digits. There was a chance for Luyties and Johnson to convert, and Adam Johnson got pretty conservative with the bump set, and they don't get a point on the board when they need it.
So Whitmarsh. Oh, and could that be a sign of fatigue? That ball just barely.
Timeout. No. That was a timeout call.
Well, we'll check it out. We believe there was a timeout before that, but there's definitely a timeout now, so we'll take it. We'll be right back. You see the time remaining in the game, 4 minutes, 32 seconds. This is the Miller Lite Louisville Open. First time we've been to Louisville. It's a very nice and hospitable city as Ludy takes it over the top out of bounds. Frohoff and Whitmarsh are kind of they're hanging in there.
They're just hanging in. They're just trying to survive right here. It's very, very hot. I know we've said that a number of times. But you put yourself out there on that court in this kind of heat and really expend a lot of energy, and not just in this match, over 2 days, and just hopefully waiting for their second win to kick in.
So Johnson, who has the advantage, he has his foot digs on, he has the protection from the heat. The other players have to gut it out.
Well, that's just on his feet, nothing on his shoulders or head, and that's where it gets you most of the time.
Johnson with the dig.
Another shaky set in transition, and Frohoff gets unlucky. The ball hitting the tape and dropping in front of him. He's got to make a move for that ball.
A 3-point lead. We'll be back. Miller Lite Louisville Open. Hard to remember to say that since this is the first time we've been in Louisville. 2:48 to go. 10-9 AJ and Luyties, but Fro and Witt behind the blocking of Whitmarsh. He stuffed Luyties twice. And why do they serve it to Johnson? I never understand. Out of the timeout, they just scored 2 points on Luyties, and Johnson thumps one through. Ricky's up. Just has to be a serving error.
Well,
gotta wonder about the strategy.
No jump serve. They stayed down and lobbed the ball right to Adam Johnson. You know, I do not understand that. AJ's got the fresh legs. Ricky Ludy's his partner being served most of the time.
Now, of course, you wonder why we say that, because they score points in a row on one guy. The theory is keep serving him. Frohoff, he's fresh. But Luyties takes that one. It was a little tap cut shot, and Ricky got it.
That was a huge score. Ricky Ludy's getting over the net.
Who knows what's going on? It's 11-9. Louisville Open. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. The AVP Pro Beach Tour continuing. As semifinal action, Johnson and Luyties ahead by a couple, and just 2.5 minutes remaining in this game. See the crowd off the water. It's beautiful. Next week, the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour Magical. Manhattan Beach, the Miller Lite Manhattan Beach Open. This is going to be live in some areas, especially on the West Coast. We know it's going to be live on Prime Ticket. So check your local listings for dates and times. Yes, Sunday and Marlowe live from Manhattan, the first time ever on Prime Network. Yeah, that could be dangerous, couldn't it? Never know what Sunday's going to say.
Put your TV on the couch.
Yeah.
Give it some padding.
All right. Get back to the action. Whitmarsh and Frohoff, the guys in green.
Nice dig by AJ. And Luyties with the set, and they put it away.
So Ricky and Adam are doing their thing now.
A big turnaround, though, at 10-9. Frohoff with a deep middle serve, shanked the pass a little bit, was late getting to a tight set. Ludy stuffed him. Otherwise, Frohoff and Whitmarsh would have had a chance to tie at 10-10. Now they're down substantially.
Luyties again.
Ricky Luyties, when he is on, he is one of the top blockers, if not the top blocker. I'd say Powers, Luyties, and probably Stoklos instill fear.
Well, I think that's the top group. I also think you have to put Karch Kirai in there as well. Blocks very effectively. Not as big as the group you mentioned, but certainly blocks very well. Mike Whitmarsh, when he's certainly having fresh legs, is a very, very intimidating blocker. And Kent Steffes told me after their semifinal escape from Frohoff and Whitmarsh, he said, hey, Whitmarsh had me in the tank. He was blocking everything I was swinging at.
Paul, you were talking about the USA national teams. Ken Gross, the publicity man, wanted me to mention that Friday on July 3rd, the USA is going to be playing Brazil at 7 o'clock in the Sports Arena. That's a semifinal match of the World League. Friday, July 3rd, tickets on sale against Brazil at the Sports Arena. And if you miss that one, after Manhattan on Sunday, July 5th, come down, watch Beach or watch it on Prime Live. Then you can go to the LA Forum, the Great Western Forum. That will start at 7 p.m. See the guys, Stavertlik and Stork and Partee and the redhead Steve Timmons going up against Brazil. And should be a good Olympic preview, don't you think?
Absolutely. This is the last of World League competition until after the Olympics. This round of playoffs will determine the Final Four, which will come after the Olympic Games.
Whitmarsh, and Johnson has it. 13-9, could be 14-9 coming up, and it is.
Transitioning better towards the end of this game. That's what they have to do when it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. They've had lots of opportunities to score.
Ricky Luyties, who used to be on the Olympic team, 1988 gold medalists, and now serving game point. Frohoff comes over and poaches one. Can he get it by Luyties? Yes, he does. One more little tidbit about that U.S. Olympic team. Timmons is playing great. Steve Timmons, the only man in history with a chance to win 3 Olympic gold medals in volleyball. So Timmons going for 3. No other players ever had a chance.
Never even attempted it.
Yeah,
right.
A couple Russians won 2, but they weren't around 40 years later, how you have to be. Johnson got a good look at Whitmarsh.
Got to look at it as well. Mike Whitmarsh hovering over the top of the net, just slapping that one down with the heel of his left hand. In good position. Whitmarsh, look at the nice aggressive move way into the cross court, reads the cut shot from Adam Johnson away from his body and gets in a good position. That's a big stuff block.
10-14, and Whit cannot convert. In a long tournament, Frohoff and Whitmarsh have played very, very well, but this heat and humidity taking a lot of toll. It's even burning us up, Paul. It's hot.
And we're sitting still.
Yeah. Which is our specialty. Johnson, game point. He serves it out of bounds. How hot is it? Look at the little guy in the corner who's calling the lines. I believe that's Jim Leonard. He has a bottle of water that he dumps on the corner so he can keep his feet cool. Right below him on the sand. Check out the sand right in front of Leonard.
He's poured about 4 bottles of AVP
he certainly has.
into his little spot. This is Leo's lair.
His tootsies are barking. The other guy, John Martin, he's tough. He's on the other line. He's hanging in there. Leonard, well, Leonard's kind of a wuss, isn't he? He's a good referee, but on the lines, got to wonder about it. Here goes Frohoff, and another jump serve error. So Fro and Witt trailing and hurting hard, down 14-10, a minute 52 to go. Going to see Karchkarai and Kent Steffes. They look unbeatable. Luyties and Johnson, though, going to give them a run. Whitmarsh and Whitty hangs in there.
And the longer these two teams stay out there, and we've said it over and over and over again in hot conditions, the more the team that is sitting in the tent because of their victory in the finals of the winner's bracket absolutely love it. Karch and Kent, even at 14-10, hope this match goes on for another 20 minutes.
Let's see if Whitmarsh goes to the net. He does. They're going to try Johnson. Oh, and Whitmarsh again.
Boy, we've talked about him being tired, but he keeps making big physical plays at the end of this match.
My final action on Prime Network, a minute 41 to go. Johnson and Luyties by 3, but Mike Whitmarsh is really getting over now, Paul. Maybe too late, but he's really getting over.
Outstanding blocking move by Mike Whitmarsh, and that's technically excellent blocking form from a player who's really only been playing volleyball at this level for 5 or 6 years. We talked about it being a war between Luyties and Whitmarsh, and it's come down to that, of survival, of hitting, of blocking. It's just been some unforced errors, and speaking of which...
Now, the joust, let's see how they call this. They're going to give it to Luyties. I think that's correct.
Ricky hit it off Mike. Side out. You saw that, right? I got this way. Ricky hit it off Mike.
Ricky hit it off Mike. That is the correct call. If it's a joust situation, whoever's side the ball goes out on last, if the ball goes out of your side of the court, that deems you touched it last as it went off your hands out of bounds. So Luyties jammed it into Whitty. It went out of bounds. Isn't that correct? You don't think so?
Just the opposite.
No, it's not.
Just the opposite.
No,
I'll explain it later.
Just explain it now. We ain't got much time.
Well, we're sitting on game point here. We'll get back to it.
Side out, Frohoff. Got it. Okay, explain it now.
Just the opposite. If I'm hitting the ball at you, and the ball leaves the court...
No, we're not hitting. We're jousting. We're jamming.
Let me finish. We're jamming. We're jamming and jousting, okay? I'm on the sax, you're on the clarinet,
You better hurry.
And I push the ball into you, and it exits the court on my side.
It didn't exit the court on your side.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I'm saying hypothetically, okay? It exits.
That's not the same situation, though.
You're not going to let me get it out.
No, I'll let you get it in, but that's not the same situation. Johnson. Okay, they're going to have game point. If Luyties and Whitmarsh are there together, and they both jam and it goes out on Whitmarsh's side, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Whose ball is it?
If it's a completely simultaneous contact, then it's Whitmarsh's ball.
No, it's Luyties' ball.
No.
Okay. You got to read the rule book.
I'll get you the rule book.
I got it right here. What are you talking about? 5th game point. Someone write us at the beach bag and give us the real rule, would you? Whitmarsh trying to hang in. No! Did he get it? No, he didn't. So finally, Luyties and Johnson put away a stubborn Whitmarsh and Frohoff. And we're going to come back. Luyties and Johnson move on against Karchkarai and Kent Steffes.